Tyler Perry's Divorce Sisters, season 1, episode 7. Y'all, so first off, like, share, subscribe, join the channel. So let's get into the mess of the mess. So first up, we got so we back where we left off at, where the episode was after, Vaughn then all of a sudden supposedly took himself out. He done took himself out, so everybody frantically and everything and trying to figure out what's going on, what's going on. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? He just took himself out. He just took himself out. So ended up talking to Myron. Told Myron get in contact with the task force, or whatever, so that they can track the phone number. So as they did that, they're actually talking. Hold up. Yeah, as they did that, actually talking to the people. So Myron came back in, said I got him on the phone. So Jeff go outside the room. They out there trying to figure out. Jeff don't know what's going on because he wasn't in there. So he asking questions and stuff like that. And uh Rashida was like, not right now, Myron, not right now. And then they told us something that somebody got just took their life or whatever, and he's the panic. And she said, not right now. So they go back outside. So as he talking to the team and stuff to track the number and everything, they're tracking it. They needed the name, his last name, so they, right, Myron came back in to get the last name and stuff. Bridget told it and whatever. And after that, she's still franticking and still trying to figure out what's going on. Jeff comes back in the room. And he and Rashida were talking. Rashida, also during the time that Rashida was asking her question, like, have he ever, asking Bridget, have he ever did something like this before? Have he been, suicidal? Anything? Bridget went, no, never, never. So Jeff then came back in, and stuff like that. So Rashida said, it seemed like this may have been, he may have been, this may have been, he may have desperate, depression, maybe suicide, So they talk, her and Jeff talk, trying to figure out. And Bridget went, hold up, he took his life. What are you talking about? And Jeff, like, not quite, how did he hang up the phone? I said, well, true, true, true. That ain't a lie. He did hang up the phone. So she went, hold on. So they try to figure it out and stuff and everything. So hopefully she went, if he didn't did this, if he played this big game, I'm gonna kill him myself. I said, yeah. I said Vaughn seemed like the person that wouldn't take his life. He seemed like he would want you to suffer to just prove a point. So we have the boxer in the back. The boxer was like, he ain't. I don't think he took his life either. He just trying to get out of them charges. I say true. He trying to. He gonna do anything because we did. If you actually remember, he said he's a creative. That's what he was trying to get back into his creative field. So I was like, well, after they said that way, yeah, he trying to get back in that creative field. So he could have set this all up, but that's what went down there. So also from this scene, I forgot to put it in there. Nah, hold up. I'm skipping ahead. Let's move to the next. To Naomi. I'm thinking ahead. So Naomi, she at home getting it in with they said what is that man name? With the guy that she been the hired help, we say hired help that she been getting in with. She done choked him out and everything. And he said, hold up. He was tapping out everything. And she went, oh, he went, I'm not him. She went, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I said, girl, you doing a lot, girl. You doing a lot. So they did a little chit chat, and she told him she wanted him to take out the ex husband and the new and the new wife. He said, I don't know about that, but I want you to do it because and he went, I ain't never did that before. So he went, I give no, we don't need nobody else. It is this between you. Only you and me need to know about this. Nobody else needs to know. And she said, I got money in, I got 500K in a safe at a bank stream to make it even more. I can show it to you and stuff. She wanted just to get it done. I went, girl. I wish you would. I'm gonna put it like this. For me, Tyler Perry, I don't like that she had to go down this. I don't like. I understand somebody being hurt and being hurt and betrayed. Um, but I don't think she should do this. I don't think she should do this. But we're gonna get why she ended up why she's doing what she's doing, and it makes quite sense towards the end. But that's what went on there, and stuff. Also, she did. He act like he didn't never did this before and stuff, and he wanted her to he gonna have his boy do it. She went, nah. She went, I don't need you if you not gonna do it. You not gonna do it. But that's what went on there. So let's move on to the next part. So we get into my girl Tiff. So Tiff then showed up because after all the commotion that went down. So her Geneva's in Rashida's office waiting out. They waiting on Rashida and them. And Tiffany asked the girl like, "What's the issue?" Because she went, "Girl, you've been avoiding me. I've been calling you and everything." But girl, I just been busy. Saying, is it about Javon? Why I always gotta go back to him? Why you always gotta everything gotta I said, girl, calm down. Calm down. And she went, what is it with him? She went, you need to ask him. He'll tell you. You'll find out when you need to find out. I said, now, Giovanni, if this is one of your best friends, other than Rashida, out of the whole girls group, y'all been friends since college. And she asked you multiple times, what is the issue or what's the thing with you and Giovanni? And you still not telling her, but you pissed at her because she's talking to him. But that's what went on there. Let me see before I get into. Okay, hold up. Let me go back. It was something else that went on here. Okay. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, so we still on this part. So we still here. So after Tiffany and Britt had their little one-on-one, in comes Rashida and well, Tiffany and Geneva had their one-on-one. In comes Rashida and Bridget. So they all together. They tell Tiffany. Tiffany said, "What's going on? What happened?" So they end up telling her what happened with Ron and stuff like that. They start talking before Bridget came in. They were just talking like, well, she like I'm young and stuff and all that stuff. They talked about that, saying asking like, can she date somebody her age? And everybody, Rashida was like, she always dated somebody younger than her. That's always been the case. And so at this point, it was Geneva. They said Geneva, she can't date nobody her age. They went home. Rashida went, hold up, girl. Is you missing? You forgot before you even met William? You was dating somebody younger than you? What? I said, girl, you know you. I said, yeah, uh-huh. You like them young. Mm-hmm. Mm. But Bridget comes into the room. When Bridget gets in there, Tiffany, we ended up finding out. Bridget said they asked what's going on. I can't believe him. Trying. I got in contact with Vaughn, and he's at his cousin's. Apparently, the gun went off, shattered his window. I said, what? So Tiffany asked the girl, is you done with him? I am. I'm not even with him anymore. I am done. Is you completely done? Because you know you. I am done. I'm done. Is she done? I don't think so. I don't think she done with Javon at all. I think she gonna keep on going back to him because after this, he didn't already gift you into like he's he too fragile. So I can see her going back to him, but we'll see how that goes. So after that, they ended up asking. So Tiffany said, "So I'm going back to Naomi's house, so we can all go." And Bridget White, do I got to? Do I got to? They said, "Yes, you do." So when they said, so Rashida was like, "We can all ride together." Geneva said, "No, she ride separately because I got something else to do." When she looked over to Tiffany, when she said that, I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "This heifer is crazy." I said, "Geneva, crazy, crazy," and I said, "It's too much." But that's what went on there. So let's move on to the next. Let's get into So we get to Jeff and let me see if it'll come up. Okay, we get to Jeff and Myron. So they're in the office, after everything that then went down and stuff like that. So Myron apologized for what happened earlier that day, with the first lady and stuff like that. And I said, I can't believe Jeff's so mad at him saying, yeah, because you calling me baby. I said, uh-huh. So he's so mad at this man and all this stuff. Asked him, have he been to the hospital and stuff? He said, no, I haven't heard from Franklin, whatever. But Jeff said he's stopping by the hospital. He said, well, I'll go with you. He went, no, I got this. He was just mad at him. It was like, huh? It's like something's going on there. I don't know if it's one sided, but the way he was so mad at him for calling him, saying baby and all this stuff, thinking I was your wife and stuff. I said, but you answered. That's my whole thing about it. You answered. Can you talk? No. Why would you answer if you know it was supposedly a mistaken call? Why would you answer him back? You know, that's just my opinion how I felt about it. So he's so mad at Myron right now, and told Myron he need to get back to work. I said, okay, here we go, here we go. So let's move on to the next. And it's so he goes to see Mr. Franklin in the hospital. And baby, Franklin is a mother sucker. Cause this man is crazy. I said they think that Naomi crazy. Naomi ain't crazy. Naomi she just mad bitter woman. Cause this man has used her. This man used her. Did everything to her and used her, and she feel a certain way. So when he went to go see him and see how everything's going, Franklin said, "You ain't getting no money." Franklin said, "I hope you ain't here for that money." I'm paraphrasing. He said, I hope you ain't here for that money because you ain't getting it. He went, we ain't known each other. We ain't known each other for a long time. And I'm going to get even with them bitches. I said, he went, and I don't mean that bitch, they own me. I mean, the bitch. I said, oh. He said, man, that's my wife. That's my wife. He stood up for his wife. He told me, people like you make me, I have to be good to people like you, even because you know, my faith in the claw. But let me tell you, if you do anything to my wife, you gonna have to deal with me. And I'm like, I said, about time you stood up for your wife. Um, but to me, it's a little bit too late. I said, that man, I said, but this is my theory. There may not be nothing going on with him in his right hand, but I think something went on between him and Franklin. It just it I said it dawned on me when this whole thing happened. I went, something seemed like it went on with him and Franklin. But Myron, it could be something could be going on with him and Myron too, but it seemed like something deeper went on with him and Franklin. I don't know what, but that's what it gives me. So we move past them to him checking him threatening him. So we at my girl Naomi house. So before we get into this thing, so Geneva showed up to the place, and her little freaky link was in the kitchen, butt naked. Vic heals her breath. Geneva, oh my God. So, who are you and why are you? Like, what, oh, hi, how you doing? He sit down all comfortable and stuff, talking to her and stuff. And that's when Naomi came out. Naomi said, you still here? Get your and leave. So he ended up leaving. So she told her, girl, go put some clothes on. You need to go put some clothes on now. So because everybody comes saying, why? She ain't, this is my house. She ain't, just go out there and put some clothes on. So she went upstairs. Then she followed behind her. When she finally went upstairs, dude finally left and stuff. Giovanni go upstairs to talk to Naomi, and they had a little one-on-one. She told her, gave her some thoughts, saying, girl, I know you hurt. I understand how you feel, but you ain't, I'm here for you. Get yourself together, take a 10-minute shower, and come downstairs. She told her, give me 30. So after that, the guys so the rest of the crew ended up showing up outside. And I said, okay, it was a part I missed. I know it ain't in here. Well, there was a scene. I said, actually, I'm sorry. I skipped once. It was a scene that I did skip. It was the scene in the car with the ladies. So, Tiffany and Bridget. Tiffany was trying to find out prior to this scene what's going on with Geneva, the issue. She was asking Rashida, and Rashida wouldn't tell her. Rashida said, you're going to have to ask her. But she went, you could tell me the issue. But it was a back and forth, little scabby scab. And then they got on Bridget and saying Bridget need to do better and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Doing that, okay, after when Jeff ended up leaving the hospital, he called Rashida to tell her, y'all need to come to our house. Bring Naomi to our house. But he ended up telling her what happened. That Franklin threatened not only her, but Naomi too. So he worried about Naomi. Not Naomi, he worried about his wife. So he said, I just meet y'all all at her place. So, they all outside. They finally made it to Naomi place outside. So they all together. He telling the rest of the ladies now what went on at the hospital. And as they talking, Geneva come outside and stuff and say, something when there was a little situation there in the house before y'all came. But she could also hear us. She got cameras out. Cameras out. They went, oh yeah. So the guys stay outside and the ladies go inside. And they waiting for her and whatever. The rest of the ladies actually got there to actually see the place. All tore up and everything. Only person that I want to say synced it, I think it was Geneva. Yeah, Geneva and Tiffany was the only one I want to say that synced the place before tore up. So, the rest of them getting to see it. So they come downstairs and whatever. She said hi to the ladies and stuff like that. And my girl Naomi get down to business. She said hello. She started getting down to business when it came to the ladies. Definitely, this went her and I know she ended up. Let me find it first. Okay. It was something. Okay, ladies inside. Okay, so the ladies. So they all together. Rashida ended up apologizing to Naomi. She said, girl, I'm sorry that I didn't check on you. And she's sorry we didn't check on you. It's been a long day and whatever. And Naomi said, "Oh, thank you, Train, for finally coming to for finally doing it." And they ended up having a little back and forth. She said, it was a long Rashida, it was a long day. It was a long night. Things happen. You threw hot coffee on somebody. She went, oh, but you had time. She went, you had time to go to the hospital and stuff. She went, but you threw hot coffee on her and stuff. She went, okay. So they a little back and forth. A little back and forth, and it was a little. I said, I'm like, wait a minute, Rashida. Like, you get mad at her. Like, I understood why Naomi was mad because you didn't. You went to check on this girl and whatever, but you didn't even contact your friend or not. And you didn't been to the office and everything else, but you were trying to get in contact with Tiffany. So I'm a little confused with this whole situation. So you didn't have time to contact Naomi, none of that day, but it's what it is. After that, oh, because Rashida told her, you did a, uh, most like she said, you brought this on yourself. You did this to yourself. The whole situation with the coffee and everything else, this gel and all that, you brought that on yourself. Oh, so Tiffany said, "Oh, I did. I did bring it. I brought it on myself." So Shane, oh, I brought this on myself. So Shane, this man was allowed. This man taunted me last night. This man had been doing everything else under the sun. This man gave me an STI. I said, "Damn." Shane, I didn't took this man back, and he still screwed me over. I said, "Well." I said, I get her pain. I said, I get the pain. And I said, when she said that, I went, oh, but I said, yeah. I said, I get that. And they was telling, like, they said, like, Giovanni said, like, you can go to jail for this. She went, okay. I went, well, I felt understood with Naomi how she felt. I said, yeah, for a person to give you something that's, and then he doing what he doing because he knows he's doing it. So during that, they ended Rashid, he said to her whatever. Rashida, you trying to cover it up and everything for you. You know what you did because it's all on the blogs and everything else, and we doing everything to try to help you. I said, huh? Oh, I said, okay, girl, okay. I said, alrighty. Oh, so this is when Naomi. Oh, so because this is when Naomi said, "Oh, okay." So Naomi ended up getting into Rashida. Told her, "Girl, you told me to. You also when I was having issues in my marriage and stuff. You told me to come to the church. You said that your church was supposed to help us." She ain't no. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said we can try to help y'all. So you also told Tiffany that the same thing, and you told her if you told her the same thing that if we pray, everything would be helped. And look at her now. I said, girl, look at her now. Tiffany look at her like, what? Why I'm in this? So, as that went on, I'm gonna put it like this was a really good part. But Naomi ended up telling them about themselves. Um, got on Bridget. Bridget, they brought up the whole. Bridget was telling her like, you got this nice house, you got money. She went, girl, hold on. She went, this is she went money in the house because you ain't never had it. It'd be a lot to you. That's it, girl. It definitely like girl. Naomi, Bridget, like I gotta get up out of here. Bridget, I'm doing. You need to stay here and tell her how you feel. Tell her how you feel. No, no, no. Cause I do, I'm gonna lose it. Naomi was like, just do it, girl. Girl, say what you gotta say. I said, baby, they is a mess. So she stood there and took it. So Naomi went around to each and every lady, and she actually told Tiffany, what did she tell that heifer? Uh, I forget. Let me see. It's in my notes. Okay. So, oh yeah, she told Tiffany. So she went, okay. So y'all supposed to be happy for me, right? That's why y'all here. So Tiffany, that's not true. That's not true. Naomi said, tell them. Okay, so Naomi tell them about themselves. She told Tiffany, you met a man last night, and you already want to marry him. She ain't and I she ain't install. she went. She ain't make sure you don't have to pay for this one too. I said, girl, make sure she don't got to pay for this one. That alimony. I said, baby girl, now I could do that but laugh. Tiff said, you don't have to even go there. She went, I did. Bridget said, you childish. She went, oh, I'm childish, girl. She went, girl, you dating. She went, I'm childish. Uh, she went, you dating somebody that ain't got no job. You don't know if he got a job. You don't have a job, a place to stay, or anything else. I said, girl, well, it's true. You know, Bridget, like a builder man. So then she moved on to it. Let me Ace, Geneva. You was my, the whole days we had, girl. hmm I said, ooh, bitch. What did she tell her? My homegirl Geneva, my day one. Remember the whole days when whole days popping? Remember? Oh yeah, whole days popping in that one working good 5 inch. You can't leave him. So you can't leave him because of his benefit. Talking about William. I said, girl. He got 5 inches, girl. 5 inches. And that's why I said that's why Geneva out here, um, all over and won't Giovanni back again. Cause she bored and he ain't giving her a good, he ain't hitting her spot. Ah, bitch. Then she move on to where she said, "My girl, Rashida, Shwan, you beautiful. Shwan, you look this. Shwan, you beautiful girl. By the way, Rashida, like, thank you, thank you. Shwan, Shwan, how Marvin? Shwan, what? Shwan, how Marvin? What? Geneva said, "Don't stop, stop, stop." Shwan, no, 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 no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So she said, "Girl, let me put this phone down." She said, have you asked him? Because because you know he be talking about the relationship that you and your husband have, right?" She went, "Girl, she went, what are you talking about?" She went, "Girl, let me show you something on TV." So she ended up showing this girl. Oh, hold up. So she ended up showing the ladies. So she ended up showing the ladies Marvin outside on the phone, babe. Outside talking to somebody, telling how he felt about the past, and saying that, I know he love me, I know he want me, you know, I can't stand that he be holding her hand and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back in the car. And she looking at Geneva trying to rub her shoulder. And I said, "Bitch, now that was some shady shit right there." Uh then after that, after she got finished showing them that, she said, so what the Bible saying? So what you gonna?" She asked, so Naomi asked, "So what you think, and how the Bible gonna get you out of this?" I said, "Bitch." I said, "Well, how is it gonna get you out of this one?" Because I said, your man is out here doing something. He's doing something. I don't know if it's with Marvin. I don't know, but he's doing something with somebody, multiple people. And her husband Jeff gives me more of a pansexual than anything else. That's what I'm getting, and that's just how it is. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about this episode of Tyler Perry's Divorce Sisters season 1, episode 7. This episode was actually good. I said I was actually into it. It took a long time, because I said the way I go find this to watch it. It took a couple of days. It took a whole week from the day it came on to almost this week for it to actually be added, for me to actually look at it and get it out, because I was trying to get it out last week on time, but that didn't work. But thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, join the channel, and hit that like button. It don't hurt. It don't hurt to hit it, share it out, and thank y'all for tuning in. Let's see, nobody in here. Bye, y'all.